What's up, everybody? It is KR086, and if you're checking out this video, I'm gonna do it in the beginning of the video. I actually remember to do it at the beginning of the video. If you like what I have to say going forward, please like, share, subscribe to this channel because I am actually going to put more effort into these videos. But without further ado, I want to talk about some Star Trek Starfleet Academy. Now, listen, when it comes down to it, I wasn't sure I was going to like this show. Okay, I first and foremost, my hope was that we were going to get a Star Trek Legacy show that took place with Seven of Nine, Picard's son, Geordie's daughters, one being in engineering, the other one being uh, the pilot of the ship. Or was she ops? I forget. Okay, and what's her name? Why am I drawing a blank on Raffi? Raffi being you know the commander number one, basically for Captain Seven of Nine's New Enterprise. Okay, I was hoping that we were gonna get that. However, we ended up getting Starfleet Academy, and again, I didn't think it was going to be that great of a show. Okay, I didn't see how it could possibly be that great of a show, and of course, I was under the impression that it was going to take place during Picard's time. Okay, you know, like shortly after Next Generation, shortly after Picard or something. I thought it was going to have a whole bunch of cast of characters that we would never have known about, and we would have gotten some cameos from like some of the characters from Picard season 3, or the rest of the Star Trek: The Next Generation cast somehow, or the cast of Voyager, or some of the cast members of Deep Space Nine who still somehow are living. We could have got those cameos. That's what I was thinking. And then I found out that it was taking place in the future. Where we saw Discovery in seasons 3, 4, and 5. And then I heard we were going to get Reno back at it again. We were going to get the Doctor, who has somehow still survived this far into the future. Holographic program, of course, but still. And we were also going to get maybe Tilly, because we know that Tilly in season 4 and 5 of Star Trek Discovery actually went on to become a teacher at Starfleet Academy. And here we go. We now have this series, and I was like, oh my goodness. And the fact that Tilly wasn't actually Barry Wiseman wasn't actually part of the show full force was also kind of shocking too. If you're gonna have Starfleet Academy take place during the year 3196, I believe that was the year. Is that the year? 3196. They kept saying 3196 at the end of this last episode. Let me just make sure I'm right. Yep. Oh wait, hold on. 3196. We're looking. Nah. Ew. But regardless, sorry about that. But regardless, we ended up getting this show, and um, it wasn't until my recent accident that I'm not going to talk anymore about that I found out the show was actually live and coming on Paramount Plus, which is great. Okay, and I started watching the show, and oh my god, I have been tuned in every single week. Yes, there were some ups, there were some downs. I'll let I'll let uh I'll let Trek culture be the judge of the ups and downs, but needless to say, the show has been great. The character of Caleb Meir. Okay, and do forgive me, I'm recording this at 2:44 in the morning. I just gotten off of work. Okay, but anyways, um, no, but the character of Caleb Meir was a very good lead character, in my opinion, as well as Chancellor Nala Aki, um, played by a very great actress, uh, Holly Hunter, right? Let me make sure. Yep, Holly Hunter. Holly Hunter is a great actress, by the way. I remember seeing her in a lot of different movies growing up, but she has done a great job of playing the Chancellor. I think, and I don't care what anybody says. I do like her style of sitting in the chair. Okay, I don't care if look. I sit in my chair and I hate it. Okay, and if you're checking out my channel, you know that I stream a lot on my channel currently. Like, I haven't even streamed on my gaming channel. I'm just streaming on my main channel. I made a gaming channel, and I barely put anything on it. But I've been streaming my video gameplays on my main channel, which is crazy. However, I don't like sitting in my chair. If you've actually paid attention to my streams, I just sit on my chair and I'm just like this while I'm looking at it. Or sometimes I'll get like this. Normally, I would rather be right here playing my game. Or, let me get it right. Or like this, playing my game. Sorry, you're seeing a little bit belly. I am not the type of person who likes sitting in the chair for too long. I sit in the chair. I sit in a truck most of the days when I'm at work. Okay, I drive when I had a car. If I ever do get another car again, I'll go out and DoorDash, and I'm sitting in a chair most of the time. I like to be lounging. And for Chancellor Ake, as captain of the Academy ship, okay, for her to be sitting in her captain's chair, low to the ground, really not wearing shoes, and just kind of doing the like, hey, this is going on. I enjoy it. I don't give a crap. Fuck off. I mean, yes, you could have the Picard sitting in there going like this, make it so. Or you could have the Janeway. All right. Let's see if there's any coffee in that. Like, you can have however you want to, but she's a chancellor of a academy, and the academy is a starship. At the same time, it could be a starship, or it could be parked in San Francisco, just sitting there chilling. I don't care. Forget it. Holly Hunter, great actress. Happy that she's playing the Chancellor, the captain of the ship that is the Athena. Now, let me go ahead and list off some of the new young cast, okay? Actually, let's go ahead and list off the cast of the instructors, okay? Stephen Colbert, his voice is in the show. That's crazy. I didn't realize that. But I didn't realize it until I actually was watching the finale, the season finale of it. You got Stephen Colbert doing the voice of, I forget what his role is in the show. We got Robert Picardo reprising his role as the Doctor. We got Tig Notaro reprising her role as Jetterino. Uh, we also had Mary Wiseman in one episode of the show as Sylvia Tilly. Okay. And we also have the other Chancellor of the Military Academy, played by Raul. Raul. I'm sorry, I have problems saying names. Raul Banerjee. Bana. Oh God, let me go to Wikipedia. Well, he's been in a lot of shit. He's been in a lot of stuff. Okay. Oh goodness gracious. He was the voice of Ben in Metabots. Shocking. He was the voice in the original Beyblade. Oh boy, I should know more about this man. Good lord. Anyways, but let's just say that. Okay, I'm gonna put that name up. Okay, I can't say it. I don't want to mess it up. Okay, um, and as another instructor was Gina Yasher as Laura Thok, and then of course let's get to the actual students. We have Sandra Rasta as Caleb Muir, great actor. He did a great job as Caleb Muir. We have Zoe Steiner as Tarima Sadal, who's a main character but doesn't pop in until like what, see episode 3 or 4. Bella Shepard, Genesis Life. Uh, let's see, George Hawkins as Remy. Kareem Diane as Jaden. Let's just go to the actual thing. Okay. Casting characters. Uh, Dang it. Will you help me? Yeah, Kareem Diane of as Jaden Craig. Let's see who else. I'm trying to save the best one for last. Okay, out of the students. Um, yeah. Well, I can't take the best one for last. The best one for last is Carice Brooks as Sam, aka Series Acclamation Mill. And if you've watched the show, you understand why Sam is the best. Okay, I mean her character is out there at the beginning, okay, and then like we get the third to last episode, we get this big huge thing happen between her and the doctor, and she also kind of, I'm not saying dumbed down, but like she kind of brings it down. And she just does such a great job as a character, like a character who in the beginning is brand new. She looks like she's a, a young adult at this point, and yet she's only been online for about 14 days, for about 2 weeks. So she's like a little kid that has teenage angst, okay? Or young adult angst, okay? All at once, okay? It's crazy. Um, but overall, the show has been good. Each episode really does a good job of, in my opinion, it does a good job of balancing that um, humor and seriousness that Star Trek has always given me. Okay, there are some episodes that are going to be very serious with just a tiny bit of humor, just to get you through the episode. And then there are some episodes that are going to be that seem so humorous, but has that little bit of seriousness to like kind of keep you like stuck in. But a lot of the episodes actually do a good job of just kind of blending these characters together, and we get more connection to the way the Star Trek universe is in the future. Like there are still issues going on um in this timeline of Star Trek. This is all happening after the burn. Starfleet is still trying to rebuild, rebuilding former connections with different from with different like Starfleet worlds that were once part of Starfleet. Different worlds that were once part of Starfleet that have been separated thanks to the burn. One particular world that is very well known to most Star Trek fans, especially Star Trek: The Next Generation fans, would be Bezed. I mean, come on, this is the home planet of one uh, lieutenant command. Is she a lieutenant commander or is she a commander? But Deanna Troy. I think she was Lieutenant Commander Deanna Troy by name. Guidance, the counselor, Deanna Troy. Okay, and her mom, who was played by the wonderful Majel Barrett. Waxama, Waxama, Waxama drink. My mouth is having trouble. Anyways, but Beta Z was actually had left the Federation, is being reconnected in this show. There's plenty of other things that we can actually see. Also, I didn't realize when I was watching the first episode, but Mir's mom, Anissa Mir, if I remember correctly, was played by Anisha Mir, was played by Tatiana Maslany, who, hey, I enjoyed in Orphan Black. Okay, if you remember that show, she played like multiple different characters, and she made each of those characters seem completely different from each other. They were clones of each other. Crazy, right? But yeah, she also played She-Hulk. I know a lot of people have an issue with the She-Hulk TV show, but I don't have a problem with it. So her being in Starfleet Academy is great, and then of course our best villain ever, our best villain, the villain of the whole entire show was played by Paul Giamatti. He played the character of Nus Baraka. It's been a great show. Okay. Also, we also had every once in a while we had Oded Fair reprising his role as Charles Vance, Admiral Charles Vance. We even had like as one of the helmsmen of the Athena, the man, Becky Lynch, the man, was actually a helmsman in Starfleet Academy. Okay, see her in the first episode. You see her in the episode where I think she's in the episode where things go crazy. Like everybody gets damaged in that episode. Yeah. So yeah, the show has been good, and I'm trying my hardest not to like spoil anything for anybody who hasn't seen it yet, especially not the last episode. That last episode, that was good. I mean, obviously there was to be certain things expected, like these main characters, the main six cadets, Genesis, Darum, Caleb, Jaden, Sam, and Tarima. Yeah, we knew they were going to be on the ship. We knew they were going to have something to do with the season finale. The stakes got high in the season finale. And I mean, to the point where like the whole like Starfleet in general was almost kaput. Like the Starfleet worlds and all that stuff. That was almost the Federation was almost destroyed, basically. Uh, yeah, it was crazy, but overall, I know I've been saying it throughout this entire video. The show was good. The show was good, and I can't wait to season two. Now I know online right now there have been plenty of people saying how much they can't stand the show, like how they have nothing but negativity to bring towards this show. Okay, and I know, like I said, there are some criticisms I have for the show, and I might go through a uh, a watch through of the criticisms that I probably had. One very big one was the episode in which um, everything kind of goes to crap. Ola, I believe. I think it's that episode. I think it's either that episode or the episode before it. But yeah, I think it is Come Let's Away. I could be wrong. But there were I had some criticisms. Don't get me wrong. Whenever I say a show is good or great, it doesn't mean that I have any criticisms towards it. It's just that I don't want to talk about the criticisms just yet. Like I might make another video based off of it because I had been planning to make a full Starfleet Academy video, and I will. Trust me. Just busy with work, and now that I watched the final episode of the season, I intend to really put some effort into it. Like I'm going to write down all the different things that I had issues with, the episodes I had issues with, why I had issues with them, how they can change it, how I feel they possibly might be able to change it in the future. They've already made season two, so it's kind of hard to like give them little pointers. But hey, I'm waiting for season two, and I like Paramount's strategy of just going ahead and uh, greenlighting the filming of a season ahead of time while a current season is going on. We don't know if there's going to be a third season. We know there's a second season already that has just wrapped filming, and I'm all right with that. Um, Literally, here's the thing. This is one thing I've always wanted for TV shows to do, and now that we have streaming shows, it's a possibility we can do this. And that is, with most TV shows that come out, I feel like they should get at least 3 seasons to actually tell whatever story that they need to tell, that they want to tell, and if they're given those 3 seasons, we're good. You know, that first season could easily just be like, look at what happened with Firefly. We we might be getting a Firefly reunion show or movie or something coming soon. There's been talks, rumors, and not to mention, it doesn't help that Nathan Fillion is doing these these reels on Instagram where he goes up to all the former actors, former cast members of Firefly, sans, of course, Shepard, Shepard Book, the actor. Hold on, let me just bring him up. Sans Shepard Book's actor Ron Glass, may he rest in peace. Um, but yeah, we have that's been going on. But look at Firefly. Firefly only lasted 1 season, about 14 episodes, if I remember correctly. I need to get the. I don't have my DVD, my box set DVD anymore. I gotta find that. I gotta find it, or I gotta buy a new one. But Firefly only had 14 episodes. Years later, they brought it back. Like in 2006, they brought it back to a movie theaters, with the movie Serenity, and people still can't. Were looking forward to a reunion, and now it's a possibility we might get it. But I always thought that every show should at least have about 3 seasons, because people start to get on a TV show, and they didn't get enough time to like actually get into that TV show. It might have had some issues like just bad time, a bad time slot, you know. For instance, like I was a big fan of Stargate Universe, and it had 2 seasons, and we didn't get a third season. And the reason why that, or why I feel that we didn't get the third season, is because of the fact that they moved the time slot to the worst time slot of all. Okay, like we had gotten used to Stargate being on Fridays, and then all of a sudden it got moved to Tuesdays, where most people are already watching NCIS and a few other, local broadcast shows. Not local broadcast shows, but you know what I mean, like the main ones, ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox. Bad time slot, sci-fi, bad time slot, like that was the time, time slot that sci-fi shows go to die, basically. Or CW at the time. CW was also cranking out the hits at the time. Regardless, not to pad this video anymore, I have criticism. I always thought the TV show should have at least 3 seasons, and it seems like with streaming, we actually are starting to get to this point where streaming services are willing to give their shows at least 2 seasons before they just hit the cancel button. They're willing to, and it helps out the fact that these shows only last about 10 episodes. They're very quick. They can last about 2 months, and then they can go with the next thing. And if the show does well on that streaming service, hey, they might greenlight it for the next, for season 3 or season 4 or whatever. Usually they get to tell their stories, and I'm happy about that. So I'm looking forward to season 2 of Starfleet Academy. It's going to be good. Of course, I'm going to be looking forward to Star Trek Strange New Worlds season 4, of course. Maybe we might get Sulu. I've heard they've already they already made the cast for Sulu and Bones. Happy about that. And still, I'm still hoping that at some point Paramount actually greenlights Star Trek Legacy. Okay, Captain 7 of 9. I hope to look forward to that. Okay, I still hope that happens. But at this point, Starfleet Academy is to me, is a good thing, because you look at it from this perspective. If Star Trek Legacy becomes a thing, we'll have a Star Trek in 3 different timelines. We'll have the Strange New Worlds, so that's the TOS timeline, or time period. I'm sorry, TOS. Then we'll have Stargate Legacy. Star Trek Legacy. Why am I constantly saying Stargate? We'll have Star Trek Legacy during the whole, post Picard, Next Generation, within that area of time. There, and then we have Starfleet Academy, which takes place in the far future of the Star Trek timeline, main timeline, not the not the branched timeline, if you know what I'm talking about. Why am I drawing blanks, it's probably because it's late. Anyways, regardless, I'm just looking forward to everything that's going to happen. To me, Starfleet Academy was actually a decent show, and while I do have my criticisms about it, overall, it was a great show. Especially that last episode. That last episode wrapped up plenty of plot points that I was hoping that it will wrap up. So, and I hope to see more into Genesis family, and Darren's family. We got a little bit of a taste in Darren's, but we didn't get as much of Genesis in this one. Or Jaden. Or Tarina. I mean, her brother just disappeared in those last 2 episodes. But he was very important. Like, he was kind of an important side character in the rest of them. So, either way, regardless, this video is taking a lot longer than usual. And, of course, this is going to be a very lazy one. I'm just posting it. Posting it raw. I don't care. I might, like I said, when I actually do my full on video about Starfleet Academy, I will. Hopefully, it will probably be about the same length, but it will have a lot more to do with it, and it won't be me rambling. Trust me, I know I ramble a lot, but that's all I really want to talk about. I'm glad to actually post a normal video on here for once, but like I said, I have been streaming. My current game that I'm playing is Cyberpunk 2077. I'm on my 3rd playthrough. If you've been looking at my channel, you've been seeing that a lot recently. Yes, my streaming schedule is like ups and downs because of the fact that work and my sleep schedule is just wacky right now. So if you made it this far, if you're wondering about the streams, I might stream today. I might stream tomorrow. Probably not gonna stream on Saturday because I'm gonna be very busy. I got work in the morning and then I got other things to do later on that night. But yeah, my streaming schedule is kind of like up in the air when it comes to work. I stream whenever I'm available. That's basically how it goes. So if you and I gotta do a better job of like kind of telling people when I stream. So there's that. So I'm going to figure out a way to do this, but for now, if you follow me on YouTube or if you follow me on Twitch, because I don't really use Twitter that much, or if you follow me on Facebook, hey, you might actually there will be some notifications on those sites that I'm starting to stream. YouTube, you just pop on YouTube and you'll see me going live. Twitch, go to Twitch, I'm live then. Okay, Facebook, I'll do better to announce that shit. Anywho, yeah, I told you I'm going harder on the streaming and these videos going forward, and I still gotta do my camera and stuff, but still, it's all about finding the time, okay? And I gotta listen to my mom. I gotta listen to what my mom told me, and that is, it's not about not having the time. It's about I have the time. I just gotta use better time management, and that's what I plan to do. So I'll see you guys later. Check out the rest of these videos that I got. I know they're kind of low effort at this point, but I'm doing better. And once I get my other room set up, I'll do more videos in there. Hopefully I'll have a green screen by then and you can really see my creative juices flowing. Alright, but I gotta get some sleep. So I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.